Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, I can't see it on my end. It says it's still loading. So, all right, here it goes. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. We're just going to do a really quick rest stop orientation to go over anything that's new this year, talking about rest stop responsibilities and see if anyone has any questions leading up to the ride this weekend. So first, we'll start off with just a little introduction. I'll go first. My name is Ashley Ayervasi. I'm actually stationed in Fort Lauderdale, so working remotely on this ride this year. I'm new to the ride, but I've been with the society for about 2.5 years now. And I do volunteer engagement, so coordinating and recruiting volunteers for walk and bike events. So it's been great to get to know you guys and work with you and meeting this awesome team. So I'll let them go ahead and introduce themselves.
Okay, I guess I'll go because Kristen's still mute. Most of you guys or ladies know me. I am Lindy Klein. I am the senior development manager for the bike ride. And of course, I've been overseeing this ride for over 9 years. So this is my 10th event. So I'm excited to be back and excited to get to see a lot of familiar faces this weekend. So, and some new ones.
Hi, everyone. I am Kristen Flores. I'm the event production manager for this event. This is my fourth event fourth year with Cactus and Crude, so pretty familiar with it. And I will be on the route all day on Saturday. I'll probably be one of the first vehicles that come and check in on you, make sure you're good, and just see if you need any assistance. I'll be wearing a very bright yellow staff shirt, so it'll be easy to identify.
Perfect, thank you. We'll start with a quick reminder about volunteer registration. A lot of people on the call have registered online, but just a quick reminder to register or encourage your volunteers to register or fill out the waiver to turn in to me prior to the ride. That makes it a lot easier. So when you show up on the day of, you don't have to worry about those paper waivers and making sure those are turned in. But you can get those through the website if you go on bikems.org and click on the volunteer tab, or you can email me and I can send you a copy of the waiver as well if that's easier for your group. General event details. This year it's a one-day ride this Saturday, the 17th. We have one route, the 70-mile route, with 6 rest stops along the route. The ride starts at 7 a.m. and we should have all riders out by 7:30. We're starting in Midland and going to La Mesa this year. And the number of cyclists, we're probably, Lindy would know, but probably around 170 or 180 now. So a little bit more than what it says on here.
Yeah, so we have about 190 registered as of now, which numbers are down. So I'm kind of still thinking probably the weekend of it'll be close to 150 because we've had a couple of people that aren't going to make it. So.
Lunch and breaks, definitely make sure you're taking breaks as needed. Remember to stay hydrated. You can pack some snacks and some lunch, but we'll have some prepackaged snacks at the rest stop to nibble on as well. And lunch will be served at the finish line. So just make sure that you're staying hydrated and your volunteers are taking breaks as needed and taking that time for yourself if you need to. Volunteer t-shirts. This is our new volunteer t-shirt. It's light blue. We will have these at the ride, but if you have an old orange shirt that you want to wear, or maybe another volunteer shirt that you like to wear, you're more than welcome to rep that. As well as if you have a team shirt or a club shirt that you want to wear, you can wear that as well, just showing that you're a volunteer. But these are what our new volunteer shirts look like. Here are the rest stop locations. Everyone's been assigned a location, so you should know where you're going, but here's just a list of the 6 rest stops that will be on the route. Rest stop responsibilities. This is where it's a little different than years before, but most of it is about the same: setting up tables, chairs, pop-up tents, icing down the water bottles. This year we'll have individual water bottles instead of the water coolers, so we'll ice those down. And fruit and snacks, we won't be cutting fruit. We will just be using whole fruit. And prepackaged snacks. So just to ensure the safety of everyone, we're doing that this year. So that's something different, but probably a bit easier for your group as well on event weekend, just to prepare and replenish. So that's something to take note of. And then also assigning volunteer roles might be helpful too for your group. I always recommend that for groups, just to assign roles like making sure the water bottles are iced down and replenished, making sure the snacks and fruit are good to go, someone waving in cyclists and cheering them on as they leave. So just a couple ideas there of assigning volunteer roles to your group. During the event, about the same: cheering on the cyclists as they come in, thanking them for riding and fundraising for the MS Society. You can get to know them, ask them about their story, why they're riding. You can find some interesting stories that way. It's pretty fun. I recommend that. But then just also, replenishing the snacks as needed and keeping an eye on the garbage, because we're using prepackaged snacks and water bottles. There'll be more trash this year, so just making sure that the trash isn't overflowing and bagging up that garbage at the end, and then putting that to the side with all your rest stop supplies. So at the end, you pack up your supplies in your rest stop bin. You'll also get a folder as well. Speaking of the rest stop bin, you'll get a folder in there that'll have extra waivers, incident report forms, stickers, a lot of forms that you need. So just be sure to check that out when you get there. The volunteer manual's in there as well. So it should have everything that you need and all the contact information that you need. So that'll be in the rest stop bin as well. But yeah, just at the end, just make sure that your site is cleaned up, dump ice from the cooler, gather any signs out on the route, and consolidate food if possible, because that way we can use it for future events. Alcohol policy, there's a 0 tolerance for volunteering under the influence. You're not allowed to consume alcohol before or during the event. And if you do drink at the event site, please make sure that you take off your volunteer shirt or flip it inside out, just to make sure that your shift is ended and you're good to go. Other roles that you might see at the rest stop. Some stops will include a medical volunteer that has signed up for your stop. But if you do not have one, please make sure to set out the medical sign-out sheet that will be in the medical folder that's in your rest stop bin. That's in a red folder and it'll be marked medical. But you can set that out for the cyclists to fill out, and there will be supplies there as well that have first aid things that cyclists might need, like Band-Aids or stuff like that. So make sure to leave that out. If you are CPR first aid certified, you can administer first aid. But again, if not, the best bet is just leaving it out. We'll also have ambulances on the route in case of an emergency. But cyclists will be able to sign out on that sheet if you don't have a medical volunteer. You'll also have a ham operator at your stop as well, which will be communicating throughout the ride. They'll be your contact for net control or rider support. So if you need anything, feel free to reach out to them. They'll be at your stop, and let them know if you need anything, and they'll be the one to communicate that. They'll also let you know if where the last rider is, and then that way you know when to pack up your stop. And they'll be communicating throughout the ride, so they'll be there the whole day. Wanted to go over how to report an emergency. Approaching the scene or cyclist, remember to stay calm and don't move the cyclist. Be sure to call 911 if there's an emergency, a critical emergency, and then have the ham operator at your stop notify net control or rider support to let the staff know of the emergency as well. We have a hospital liaison that will be out there that will take care of it from there. But just let us know or contact 911 to let them know of any critical emergencies on the route. Ensuring the traffic flow continues. If there is any accident or anything blocking where the cyclists are going, try to make sure volunteers can move bikes or let the cyclists get by safely around the scene if necessary, and stay with the cyclists until medical support arrives. If a cyclist is transported, the SAG will take the bike and call on the bike number into net control to make sure that the bike gets back to the cyclist. So you won't have to worry about that. They'll come pick that up once you call net control. And then also the incident report forms, they're extra in your folder just in case you need one. But any staff on the route that will be at the scene will fill one out as well. So if you do happen to fill out an incident report form, make sure you turn that in. You can scan it to me, or you can turn it into a staff member in a yellow shirt on the route if they stop by or at the finish line before you leave. Here are some fun pictures of rest stop groups that I have here in Florida that do some fun rest stop themes. They dress up or they decorate their stop as a certain scene. So we have Mardi Gras, circus, pirates, things like that, which is a lot of fun. And I recommend it to any groups that want to, stand out. A lot of cyclists remember your stop and talk about it for years to come. So that's something fun you can do with your stop as well. Quick reminders, please don't direct traffic. Market leads can give statements to the press or media, so if you're asked about anything like that, just refer them to a staff member. If you need to leave the event at any time, please call one of the numbers on your in your folder and let them know, or let your ham operator know so they can contact the staff to make sure that your role is filled in case of emergency or anything. And then some other reminders, masks are required for those that are not vaccinated. If you are vaccinated, you have the option of wearing a mask if you'd like. Keep hydrated, bring a water bottle, drink fluids, stay cool. Remember to wear sunblock if you can, and wear a hat, and drink water. Take a break if you need to. Make sure that your shift's covered though, but be sure to take a break if you're not feeling well or you've just been working all day. That's really important. Food safety, we'll have gloves in your rest stop bin, so please wear those if you're working with food. Even if it's prepackaged or whole fruit, we still ask for gloves just to make sure that everything's clean and safe. And lifting, know your limitations, ask for help if needed, and be friendly and provide customer service. And then another thing that wasn't in this PowerPoint that I added is the health acknowledgement. So we will be sending out an email 24 hours, 48 hours before the event for you to just answer 3 questions to acknowledge our safety protocols. And once you do that, you'll be given like a confirmation page. So just take note of that and either screenshot it or save it in your phone, and then show that when you arrive on site, and you'll get a wristband. For your rest stop volunteers that are registered will also get the email. So when they arrive on site, you'll have wristbands in your folder. Just check to make sure that they've done the health acknowledgement, and give them a wristband in exchange. That way we're just keeping track of who has done the health acknowledgement, just so we're doing our part with COVID and making sure everyone's safe and ensuring the safety of the cyclists, the volunteers, and the staff. So that's an extra thing we're adding on this year, but it's only 3 questions. It's really fast, I promise. So that's something we'll be asking all volunteers to do. And if for some reason they don't get the link sent to their email, maybe they're not registered, they can do that on the day of too. So when they arrive, we'll have a barcode or something that they can scan so they can check in and get that wristband. Questions, and if Lindy and Kristen have anything that they want to add that I might have missed. But if anyone had any questions.
I think the one thing I just wanted to add was kind of on the tear down. I know we had updated it, but I didn't see it on there. So sorry if I missed that. But like, so whenever that last cyclist comes through, they'll let you know like, hey, these are the last cyclist. And you can start kind of taking everything down. I know we talked about making sure all this trash was together, but also please go ahead and break down the tent. You know, there should be a pair of scissors in the, so if you zip tie the sandbags to the bottom of the tents, go ahead and clip those sandbags off. Just make sure that you go ahead and tear down everything that's been brought to you and put it all in the same place with the trash and everything. It just makes it so much easier whenever our guys come and pick it up. So.
Yeah, and then I just wanted to add one thing about the health acknowledgement. We can do that verbally as well, so you don't have to actually do it on your phone. If you forget to do it ahead of time, we can just do that on site and just have you acknowledge those questions and you verbally agree, and then that'll sign off as well. So like Ashlyn said, it's pretty simple and casual. It's nothing too crazy. Just wanted to make sure you guys know that like there is an in-person option that is verbal and you don't have to actually do it on your phone. So obviously the preferred method is doing it ahead of time because it eliminates the need in the morning or that day, but we can do it in person.
And if you know t-shirt sizes of what you need, make sure Ashlyn has those. So I got all of our volunteer t-shirts came in today, and so we'll be working on making sure, and we want to make sure that y'all have your t-shirts in there. But if you want to get them before Saturday morning, if you could also shoot me or Ashlyn an email, you can also pick them up at our packet pickup on Friday afternoon. I guess it's more afternoon from 3 to 6:30. It'll be downtown at Endeavor by the start line. And so, but we can get those to you before Saturday if you would like them before that. Otherwise, they'll be in the rest stop tote for the sizes we have.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
And then did anyone else have any questions on the call? Give it a couple minutes. If not, definitely reach out to us and we'll be happy to answer that for you. Everything should really be in that instruction sheet as well that I sent out and the volunteer manual. It's a lot of information. But
can you hear me?
Yes.
Just a quick deal. Most of my rest stop will be paper. Just because we're going to be dealing with 6 other stores. I'm not sure who all is going to be there till the day that we show up in the morning. So almost everything we do is going to be on paper, probably.
Yeah, that's no problem. So that morning when you get them, just place them in the folder.
Okay. And also, I have the capability of having fresh cut fruit made. Is that a problem? Or I mean, if
it's coming from a grocery store.
Yeah, unfortunately, kind of what we're doing for all of our events this year is that they do have to be. We're not serving any of the food, and so that's why we're leaving the bananas whole and then the clementine oranges whole as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just a national policy this year.
Okay, I just say I have the capability of doing it food safety wise and all that other stuff. So
yeah, I mean that's our preferred option.
Okay.
Just this year, it's like it's just one rule across all.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you though. We appreciate you offering that.
So you guys mentioned that we're gonna going to have water bottles that are going to, is there going to be like Gatorade, or are we going to have that Powerade stuff as well, or just ice down water?
Yeah, so we will have so there's actually going to be 3 different liquid options this year. There will be the bottled water, and then we'll have pickle pops. So the pickle pops are kind of like a frozen popsicle, but they'll be warm. So we'll just ask for you to put them, not all of them, but like a good portion of them in the ice chest. And so as riders come up, you can kind of put 2 or 3 of them out on the table so they see them. And then and so they're just like kind of like a popsicle that you would get as like a kid in like the variety of colors. And you'll see them there. You'll just kind of like tear them apart and put them in the ice chest. And then the other option is, because we're not, again, this is another policy across all of our events this year, where we're not doing the Gatorade coolers, but we will have a Gatorade option. So we're going to be providing additional water bottles, and then we will have, trying to see if I have any in here, but like they're individual packets of Gatorade. So those can just be placed on the table as well. The cyclists can, when they come up, they can grab their water bottle and then a Gatorade packet, and then make their own Gatorade in their water bottle. So we won't be having the volunteers actually make the Gatorade in the coolers this year, but we will have Gatorade individual packets for the cyclists if they want it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
So, again, with what I'm allowed, am I allowed to bring any? I mean, if I bring it on myself to my rest stop,
like
any Powerade or anything else, anything like that?
A Gator, like a cooler, like already pre-made?
Yeah, no, that's already, and just cooled down already in a cooler or something. Just extra Powerade and those kind of things.
Individual bottles, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, if they're individual bottles, sure, go for it. We will, and then we will be providing each of the rest stops with the individual packets. But if you want to bring your own bottles of Gatorade or Powerade, whatever you want, like electrolyte drinks, that's fine as well, as long as they're individually packaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. Yeah, if anyone else has any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Here's my contact information. That is a capital IERVASI, not an L. Sometimes that's mistaken for an L, but that's my email. I'm really good at responding to that. If not, that second number, the remote day of, is my cell phone number, which is another great way to get a hold of me. So you can call and text that number as well. I won't be there on the day of, but you can feel free to contact me. I'll get you in touch with the right person, or in your packet and email as well, you'll have some other contacts of Kristen and Lindy and Zoe, who's going to be our volunteer coordinator that day, that you can reach out to them and they'll be happy to help. But I'm happy to help too if you need anything. But thank you again for joining us. Please reach out if you have any questions at all. This is recorded, so we'll be formatting this and sending it out. And I'll also include the updated PowerPoint. I apologize, this one is an older version that we edited, so it doesn't have all the information in it, but I'll send out the newest one with the recording if you want to check that out. But thank you again for joining us. Thank you again for volunteering. Without you, we wouldn't be able to put this event on. So thank you again so much for everything that you do and the time that you dedicate to the ride and the cause. So with that, I hope everyone has a great night, and thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you this weekend.
Thank you. See you Friday to pick up my shirts. Bye.
Sounds like a plan. Bye.